Today we're speaking with Doug Ode of Royalwood Dairy in Brandon, South Dakota, not far from Sioux Falls. Doug and his family are preparing for their annual community breakfast on the farm, set for this Saturday, June 15th. Welcome, Doug, and tell us a little bit about your upcoming event.
Well, this will be our 12th year of hosting the breakfast on the farm. Basically how it got started was we expanded 12 years ago, and it was a way to kind of put rumors to bed on what people thought they had heard and the actuality part of, a dairy. So we opened it up. They had a community breakfast then. We had approximately 450 people show up at that event. We answered a lot of questions that the people might have had concerns about, and that's kind of how it got started. And then with the help of Ag United of South Dakota, it just became an annual event, and it is every year it seems like keeps growing, which is good. The past 2 years, for sure, it seems like we've had a whole different crowd, and being, we're in mid-America of rural agriculture, and it just kind of floors you. You think everybody should know something about farming, that it is just unreal that how many people do not have a clue of what really goes on a dairy farm today.
During the event, you have some educational exhibits around the various parts of the dairy to help people know what's going on. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have South Dakota Corn. They come out, they have a trailer set up with displays in there to educate them about that. Here on the farm, we also have a fair amount of things. We have the feed samples of everything that the cow that's in their diet, the cost of it, so people exactly get to know that it costs a lot to produce milk, and they just aren't aware of all the expense that goes into running a dairy operation, not just alone in feed costs, but your daily maintenance, upkeep, the buildings, insurance, all that stuff. So we try to keep it very educational for them. And, we do get a lot of questions, which is great. We like the field questions so that they, we want to be very open. We don't try to hide anything out here. So that's kind of how the educational part plays in.
And you're also involved with a fundraising effort at the breakfast for Feeding South Dakota. How does that work?
Yes, this will be the third or fourth year, I believe now. We just there's just a donation out there for people to give money for Feeding South Dakota. The cost is to come out to the event is free. We have a lot of sponsors that help put this on, thanks to Ag United of South Dakota. But all of that money that is donated, or that people just donate into the kitty as they go through the line to eat, is just donated to Feeding South Dakota. And we've the last several years, I think it's been right around $2,000 each year. So, it does help a lot, and just another good way to have a plug that come out here, and you can also see a dairy farm and also help the Feeding South Dakota program.
Well, what's on the menu for folks who'll be having breakfast with you?
Okay, pancakes, sausage. The guy that makes the pancakes, he's phenomenal. It's a company called Chris Cakes out of Iowa, and he just has fun making pancakes, and he'll toss them to people, and he's very accurate. He can really hit the plates from 20, 30 feet away. I think milk, ice cream. We have the soft serve machine here that Midwest Dairy has, so that'll be here. Everything is free that when they come out. As far as the transportation, we have a place 1.5 miles to the east of our farm here that we encourage people to use that, because it does get congested with the number of people that do come here and they get dropped off. We have 2 buses or 3 buses, I think it is, running continuous. So it drops them off, picks them up, and takes them back to the parking area.
What are the hours of the event going to be? When does it start? When does it end?
It starts right at 9 o'clock. Of course, you have people that show up about 8:30, but it actually starts at 9 o'clock and it goes till 1 o'clock, and that's a firm 1 o'clock. So we do have people coming the whole entire time. I mean, the last couple of years, we've had lines of people, so it's good for them. They enjoy coming out. I mean, it's young families, a lot of them. Kids are in strollers. But they just have fun. I think one of the things that stands out the most a few years ago, it seems like we always have a little rain shower the morning of this. But there was a young mother that I saw her, and her little kid was playing in a mud puddle. And I thought, gosh, what are you doing? She said, well, where else can he come and have fun and play? He play in a mud puddle and out on a farm. And she said, he's very washable. So, that's one good thing, that she is very open-minded, that, this is the way it actually is out on the farm. Things aren't perfect, especially this year, because we've had so much rain. It's wet out here. So it's, that's one way that we're getting in touch with people.
Speaking of families, you farm and with your families. Talk a little bit about your extended family that you're farming with.
Sure. The event is hosted by us. We do everything here on the farm. We get everything ready, which is quite an undertaking, especially this year. We're way behind on everything. But our family, it consists of my parents, Bob and Marilyn Ode, who are both 88. And then my brother, Greg, he's 2.5 years older than I am. Myself, our children, Greg has a son and a daughter. They're adults, and I also do too. I guess my youngest will be a senior up at South Dakota State this year. And then I also have 2 stepsons that help out any way possible. My wife and Greg's wife are very involved the day of the event. So it's a busy time. The farm, we farm right around 750 acres, all of which is corn and alfalfa. Everything that we raise is fed through the livestock, or majority of it. Once in a while, we do have an excess amount of corn that we can sell for grain. But otherwise, everything that we do raise, it's run through the cows. Our herd, we have registered Holsteins. Approximately about 80% of them are registered. I guess I'm the one that has a big, keen interest in the registered Holstein business. I've been this year I can't, but the past 3 years I've been a representative from South Dakota to the National Holstein Convention. So I think everything that plays a big part in what makes this event. We're very enthusiastic about the event that we host, and hope everybody has a good time and they like to come out again. Which kind of is the case, because on an average year, I think we probably have about 10 to 12 groups of people that come out to see the farm. And, we're very open and show any type of group what goes on out here.
Well, that sounds like a great June Dairy Month event. And you get some support from your dairy promotion organization, Midwest Dairy, too, I presume.
Yes, that, and we probably have at least 12 other vendors that also help sponsor this, but that doesn't nearly cover the cost.
Sure.
But A United, they're a tremendous group. The commodity groups in South Dakota all help foot the bill, so that's how the cost is all covered. Our family, we really don't have too much cost other than getting the place all spruced up, getting flowers planted, the extra time it takes for mowing and trimming and all that goes on. Because, we are fairly close to Sioux Falls, and we are on a paved road. So we do get quite a few people that drive by our place. And And we do want to have a good impression the first time they drive by our farm. So we like to have things very well kept and tidy at all times. But this year it hasn't been that way. We've been so wet, and just got the corn in last Saturday or Friday. We finished up with corn, so which is about a month behind.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's good for the grass and not much else, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, Doug, we appreciate you telling us about what's going to go on your Dairy on the Farm breakfast. We congratulate you and your family for doing such a nice job with that over many years. It's been fun to speak with you. We're talking with Doug Ode of Royalwood Dairy in Brandon, South Dakota. This is Joel Hastings for DairyBusiness.com.